Howdy folks, welcome back. Just to kind of do a little carry on from yesterday on our Eclipse, we look at GO16 SUVI composite 171 angstroms of light from yesterday, and this is where the anomaly was. If you guys watched my video from yesterday, I showed you how the moon was eclipsing the sun, well, an annular eclipse, so you could get that ring of fire, and it came in from one direction and then went out the other. But of course I'm going to do a little research and follow-up. And this is what I discovered. So as we see here, it came in from the upper right, as it did in my video yesterday. And then all of a sudden, as we progress on, you notice it all of a sudden gets light at the bottom, and then it's like it goes up. Well, how in the world does it do that? Shouldn't an eclipse, if it's coming across, go this way and then out this way? Instead of going from right to left and then turning and going up? That's quite the strange anomaly. Now, you think that's weird. Check this out. As we progress forward, just a little bit, you'll see it come back into view again. You'll see the moon. Hang on. You're almost there. Where are we at here? Come on. Oh, there it is. You see that? Now it's going from left to right. So how does it do that? Is there another planetary body out in our solar system that we don't know about? Was this the actual part of the eclipse from the moon? But you know, just where this satellite is particularly is positioned. And how does it move the light around it? Do you notice how the satellite just kind of moves with that? Like, how does it do that? Why does it do that? I find that to be strange. And then the other thing, so what is this body? What is this? Is this the Earth eclipsing the sun from the satellite like that? And then the very next one being the moon that we see itself? I mean, I'm not exactly sure, but I do find it to be quite strange. So that's just a little something, a little snippet for everybody there. Now here's the second part. Now, this is something I've been kind of wanting to do a video about. I've been holding on to it, but check this out. So basically, the sun's magnetic poles are kind of disappearing. They're getting quite weaker. The sun is about to lose them, really. And what I mean by magnetic poles, I mean like its polarity. But what if it does a full pole reversal, kind of like the Earth has done in the past? I mean, recent measurements by NASA's Solar Dynamic Observatory did reveal a rapid weakening of magnetic fields in the polar regions on the sun. North and south magnetic poles are on the verge of disappearing. This will lead to a complete reversal of the sun's magnetic field, basically, perhaps before the end of the year. So basically what happens is the sun has its magnetic poles, north and south. Okay, and as we can see here, you know, the strength of the bands would be in the middle, but this is also where it breaks. So when we have a coronal mass ejection, these bands, basically, it will come out, it usually comes out from right here. Okay? It comes right from the equatorial plane of the sun. Sometimes we see the coronal mass ejections come this way, sometimes it's this way, sometimes it's at an angle, but it usually always connects from north to south. Almost always. There's always a one above it and one below the equatorial plane, north and southern polarity, and they just kind of, and they snap off and go off to the side. But, so how do we know that this is real, right? Well, that's, you know, this is the article. It's over here on spaceweather.com, and it's from October 6th. But if we actually look at some video of the SDO 304 angstroms of light from the 8th, now, first thing I'm sure you're going to notice is, oh, what is this strange anomaly here? I'm not sure. What do you guys think? Think UFOs are real? Do you think it could be some kind of a craft? I'm not sure. But one of the ways that we can tell that our poles are getting weaker, you can see here, as I've discussed, here's a filament, okay, right here, a prominence, a large amount of plasma going from the northern region of the poles to the southern region. You can see the equatorial plane, oh, you can almost see it perfectly right here. So again, going from north to south. But when you start having them coming off the northern end, right from the pole region itself, that's typically a sign. You see how it's getting weaker and whoop, and it's about to let one go? That is a sign of the weakness of the polarity of the north and south pole. So that's actually pretty significant to notice. So that's kind of like a little tattletale sign that things are getting weaker. Now, one of the other things, what could cause it to get weaker? And what does it happen? So here we got our north and our south, and what happens is basically it goes through a polarity reversal. The poles don't necessarily disappear, they just actually kind of like, they struggle a little bit. So from 2010, we went from south being north, and northern polarity being south, and then it kind of goes through this little struggle, and then boop, 2017, we went from the northern polarity being on the north and the southern polarity going on the south. This does happen, okay? So, and then we end up looking like this. South is on top, north is on bottom. But what about Earth? Like, if we think about it, I mean, with the sun, it's actually kind of a routine. It usually happens about every 11 years, okay? But one thing is that what happens if it happens here on Earth? Well, there would be widespread alarm. Past reversals on our planet's magnetic field have been linked to calamities ranging from sudden climate change to the extinction of the Neanderthals and stuff like that. I mean, we've had, from pole reversals, we've had complete flooding. I mean, imagine the planet, if you will, doing a complete topsy-turvy. I mean, would that not explain the floods of Noah? And there have been multiples. We actually have a full Earth flip about every 12,600 years. And folks, we are overdue. And if you want to look at different magnetic anomalies on the planet, like strong magnetic anomalies, well, the Bermuda Triangle is one place that everybody knows about. Well, the other place is in the Indian Ocean, called the Devil's Triangle. So, and because we know that Earth has memory, you know, metal, I mean, that's how you get, like your magnets on your fridge, you know, they get electrically charged and they have a magnetic memory. And they keep that memory. Well, Earth does the same thing. So could the Bermuda Triangle and the Devil's Triangle be our old north and south poles? Or our first ones? Or just the most recent ones before the last flip? Could that also explain the disappearances of different lands, like Doggerland, which is where Europe is, or even Atlantis, or the people of Mu or Lemuria? I think so. Now, one of my questions is how does this happen? What would cause our Earth to flip? What would cause, you know, our sun to flip and all those different things? Well, what about this guy? I mean, we know about in ancient Sumerian texts and cuneiform texts, they talk about the planet of Nibiru and Nemesis. Well, but how real is it? Well, it's very possible for us to have a twin, to be a bipolar, if you will, a binary star system. Isn't that interesting? They call it bipolar because you got different polarities, different suns. Just a little something to think about. But there are actually more binary, trinary star systems than there are singles. Okay, so, and some people might think, well, I'm kind of stretching this, but because we know about it, and we know that, and so far from what we know, it's coming up from underneath us, from below us. This brown dwarf planetary system to our star system, it comes in like this, it goes up above us and goes down. In fact, here's a little, what they're believing to be around Nemesis, our secondary star. You've got all these different planets, and right here is Nibiru, and Nibiru's moon, Pharada. Well, isn't that interesting? Our second star has other star systems. Well, has that ever caused calamities with our planet? Well, yeah, there's the asteroid belt between Jupiter and Mars that is also referred to in the Bible as the hammered bracelet. And according to this ancient Sumerian text, Tiamat was the name of our planet before we became Earth. We were 4 times larger than what we were, and we were on the other side of Mars. And when this planetary system, star system, came through, one of its planets or moons actually hit Tiamat and created the hammer belt, or the Kuiper belt, for that asteroid system. So, and then we kind of recoalesced, you know, jumping, because, you know, after that impact, you're going to move positions, and then we recoalesced on the other side of Mars and became Earth, which is very interesting. But like, how real is it? Well, we know that NASA has found it. We know that they've been discussing it, and so here being Planet X, and it's got many names: Planet X, Wormwood, Binary, you know, Taichi, Brown Dwarf, Nemesis, etc. I mean, it's got multiple names. But we also know that it comes, but through trajectory and from the Pioneer satellites from back in the day, They actually discovered it, and it was in one form, and they never brought it up or talked about it again. But we discovered it comes up from underneath us and goes down just like this. Well, yeah, but how accurate is that really, though? I mean, are we sure? I mean, there's a lot of talk about it. But what if I was to tell you that they've been trying to tell us about it? I mean, right here is a Swiss franc. $10, I guess equivalent to a $10 bill, if you want to call it that way. So here's the Earth, or here's the Sun. You got all the different planets. You got Jupiter. You got Saturn. And then you've got this right here coming in from around behind us, or from underneath us, because it's not looking at it, on the ecliptic. It's looking from above, going like this. Well, doesn't that look like this? Or this? Why would they put that on the back of a $10 franc in Switzerland? And then if you look at the front of that particular bill, now it's funny that it's a $10 bill, right? Or a $10 franc. 10 as in planet X. X being 10 Roman numerals. I find that pretty interesting. But then when you look at the front, it looks a little more ominous, because here he's looking at 10 as in the planet X. And one spot out of all of these is lit up, and he's looking right at it. And then you've got all these little swirly marks here, kind of looking like, look, a binary star system, binary star system. There's always like 2 in the midst of them, symbolizing that we're a binary star system. I don't know. What do you guys think? Remember to keep your eyes open, no fear, and love is the only way forward.